What's up, guys? So apparently YouTube has been restricting and limiting a lot of Mortal Kombat creator videos, which causes them to make less money and causes them to somewhat get shadow banned. Well, I experienced this myself because they restricted and limited one of the most popular documentaries on YouTube that I created called Mortal Kombat 12 Onaga's Revenge. You probably never heard of it or never seen it because they stopped promoting it around about 75,000 views. So help me fight back against YouTube right now. Stop what you're doing and smash that like button because it tells the algorithm this is what you want and this is what you want to see. Subscribe and turn on post notifications, as this is your brand new favorite and exclusive place for daily Mortal Kombat content. We fighting back. We ain't going out without a fight. So enjoy this documentary. I'm re-uploading it in 4K, better quality. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to leave a comment letting me know how you like this documentary, and I will be sure to respond. Catch you in the next one. The Return of Onaga, Mortal Kombat 12. What's up, guys? The documentary I've been working on so hard is finally here, and you're going to get to see what's in store. Like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because it's going down. This is an hour-long video. I suggest you get some popcorn because this is going to be crazy. Welcome to the Mortal Kombat Files, the documentary, The Return of the One being Onaga. We're going to talk about Liu Kang's biggest mistake that he's made in timeline history. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up, guys? Wave Report here, back in the building with another video. If you're watching this video for the first time, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button as we ride the wave all the way to 13K. Now, you can tell by the title of the video what we're going to be getting into, so let me explain this exactly to you on how it's going to work. So I have detailed this video out in chapters, meaning that this video is very organized. So first, we're going to start with 500 years ago because that's where the MK story is going to be showing you. That's where it's going to be taking us in MK12. So I'm going to be showing you, I should say, the proof of that. Now, I'm going to bring up the MKX ending of Kung Lao, and he talks about the great Kung Lao in 500 years ago. So first, let's go ahead and establish the credibility that Mortal Kombat 12 will take place 500 years ago, and we're going to tie this into MKX. So I'm going to need you to pay full close attention in detail, as I will be putting some video clips with audio on your screen to take you down memory lane. It's just not going to be me talking. I'm going to be providing some very strong arguments that I want you to interact with and engage with, so that way this video can go as smoothly as possible. And remember, if you like the video, please be sure to get in the comment section and sound off and let me know what you think. I'm having a lot of fun making this, and I really hope you guys enjoy it because I worked so hard on this doing research and everything else. Now, let's go ahead and cut the chitter chatter and get directly to evidence number one. So let me go ahead and roll up that Kung Lao footage, and I will be back with my commentary right after this clip is over. Let's go.
Kung Lao had avenged his ancestor's death and saved Earthrealm from Shao Kahn's brutality. In quiet reflection with Raiden at the grave of the great Kung Lao, he touched the modest stone marker. Images of past events, moments of someone else's life flashed through his mind, concluding with a lost battle against Goro. Raiden theorized that Kung Lao had unlocked memories of his past life. The Kung Lao that stood before Raiden was in fact the reincarnation of the great Kung Lao, who had been defeated by Goro 500 years ago. He had accomplished in the present what he could not in the past.
Now that we established that he was taken out by Goro 500 years in the past, you can keep up to what I'm bringing to your attention here. Now, Liu Kang travels at the end of Mortal Kombat 11. He travels back in time to the great Kung Lao. Now, it didn't say 500 years because they did not want to give it away. It'll be complete obvious, but he traveled back in time, and you can clearly tell that this Kung Lao is not our Kung Lao, and he even mentions it that he is the great Kung Lao. Now, he tells him that he wants to recruit him to be his champion for a Mortal Kombat tournament. Well, he didn't really say tournament, but he told him he wanted him to be his champion. And if you want him to be his champion, then that has something to do with the tournament. Now, this is the grave mistake that Liu Kang is going to make. And this is me showing you proof or providing evidence that we most certainly will be going 500 years back in time, because we're going to be finishing and seeing for the first time ever the great Kung Lao's story. This is what's going to trigger the third timeline. Mind you, the first timeline was by Midway, a company that NRS, well, not NRS, the Mortal Kombat team was under. It went bankrupt and ended up getting bought out by who bought it? WB ended up buying it, which became Netherrealm Studios, which is the second timeline. And now they're doing a big retcon by creating a third timeline that gives them a beautiful blank canvas to paint Mortal Kombat story any way that they want to paint it, instead of having to go back to fix so many things. You notice all of the games have been traveled. We've been time traveling for about 15 years now at this point, LOL, you know. So with that being said, this is going to allow us to go back and go forward. But here's the trick to it. In MKX, we were given the combat kids, and this game here, you were given more so new characters, and this is all about the new era. The new era, they said so many times in the story, how can you forget it? Now that it's about the new era, it's about Liu Kang's new era, because when we go back in time, there's going to be the ancestors. We're going to get into that a little later on in the video, so I just kind of wanted to catch you up on that information. But let's go ahead and play this clip on your screen. Pay attention to everything Liu Kang tells the great Kung Lao. He said he's going to need him training and need his help. That's what he's going to need. Here's the clip right here.
Kung Lao, where did you... Who are you? I am Lord Liu Kang, God of Thunder and Fire. God of... Forgive my disrespect, my lord. Enough, Kung Lao. You are humble, not like the Kung Lao I knew. The Kung Lao you knew? A story for another time. I have chosen you as my champion, Kung Lao. We have work to do. You must be prepared. Trained. Trained? For what?
Now, as you can see, Big Head Liu Kang wants the great Kung Lao to train people because he knows something is coming. This is the same tactic that he pulled on Shang Tsung. He pulled a Shang Tsung on Shang Tsung by telling him that he needed to stay behind in the original story, when in reality he already saw what was coming and he prepared in advance. Now, I know it's been a while since you played the game or saw the story, so I'm going to put this clip on your screen so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. Check this out.
Liu Kang, I thought your duties required you stayed behind.
A lie. Something you know well.
I see now. The hourglass showed that only I could wield the crown against Kronika successfully. You let me win.
Now, as you can see, Liu Kang played Shang Tsung like a puppet. He played him like a puppet. So now that I have established credibility with you guys that Liu Kang is a liar and he knows when things are coming because he willed the hourglass, you should be more inclined to believe me and where this story is going. So now let's go ahead and move a little forward. And more evidence will be provided, as already happening throughout the video, to kind of keep you on track and to refresh your memory, because I know it's been a while since you played the story or maybe interacted with it. So next focus is this. Another reason why I want you guys to know that the Great Kung Lao is the main focus. The main focus, he has been built since MKX, to the best of my knowledge. I'm pretty sure he was built in the comics. I really don't read the comics, I'll be honest with you. So you can answer that for me in the comment section below. Are they pushing him in the comics? Does he get mentioned a lot? Does he have big storylines? Educate me and let me know. But as far as MKX, they started this storyline about the Great Kung Lao in MKX with his cousin. I think it's, what was his name? His great with Kung Lao's cousin. Was it Kung Jin? Kung Jin's his cousin? Or Takeda, one of them. I think it's Kung Jin. Kung Jin is definitely his cousin. Let's go with Kung Jin. So it all started where they started pushing him with that little green thing that he was holding in his hand when we caught him trying to get a 5-finger discount out of Raiden's temple. You know, Raiden caught him and found out what type of time he was on, and he had to put them hands on him real quick and show him, hey, look, you're not about to be coming up here and stealing out of my temple, dog. What's going on with you? That's just what Raiden was on, you know. So after stopping them, he gave him a little bit of words of wisdom, and they actually talked about, you know, the Great Kung Lao and his family tree history and stuff like that. Kind of like a nice little backstory, and they really put a lot of thought and a lot of work into that. Even in that area, if you were paying attention, all of the ancestors were in there. We're going to get into that a little later too, but here's a clip from MKX if you don't know what I'm talking about. Have a quick look at this, y'all. You got to see this. Honestly, y'all know what this reminds me of. Now, I understand this is his. This belongs to the Great Kung Lao, so he have every right to have it, but he legit came to Raiden's place for a 5-finger discount. But he got every right to do so. You know, that one cousin or that one friend, you let them borrow something so long, you got to borrow it back because you're not even sure if it's yours anymore. That's what this reminds me of. But look, let's go ahead and get back to the rest of this documentary. Make sure you like and hit that subscribe. Alright, now that we got it established that they have been building the Great Kung Lao since MKX, I'll go ahead and continue on the documentary and move it forward. So, Liu Kang's big mistake is the fact that he's going to be repeating what Kronika did in a sense, meaning that he will be recruiting people from different timelines to take on Onaga and his undead army. That's what's going to happen. Now, you're probably wondering, how the heck did Onaga get unleashed? We thought that the gods put him away by separating him between the realms, right? Well, guess what? Liu Kang rewrote history. History has been rewritten. That's what happened, meaning that things are different now. Also, it has been confirmed that once Kronika was killed, once she was killed and taken out, every little vial was broken. And mind you, history is being rewritten, so keep those two things in mind. I'm going to put a clip here on your screen in a second. This is going to be the reason Onaga and other villains will be released, meaning that, you know, when, what's his name, Shang Tsung, Fujin, and Nightwolf came through that portal, and they asked them, how did you guys get out? They said, well, when you killed Kronika, that's what allowed us to escape, you know, basically back into reality through the hourglass. So if it happened for them three, you have to think that it happened for other people that were locked away. And that is going to be how NRS introduce new characters into us. Look how they did what's his name, the Collector. Look how they did Collector. They put Collector in MK11, but they made it as if he was always a part of the MK story. So he's a new character to us, but everybody else, like Shang Tsung and them, already rocking with him. So it's going to be the same thing here. It's going to be other villains on top of Onaga and his undead army. And we're also going to talk about how Goro is going to become the vessel to Onaga. And they may put a spin on that, which can mean Reptile would be the vessel to Onaga to kind of switch it up a little bit since the timeline is being rewritten. So let me go ahead and put this clip on your screen of where the vial has been broken for Fujin, Shang Tsung, and Nightwolf. So that way you can keep up with the story and you don't have to question it. Check out this clip.
Wolf! Fujin!
I use your magic before the hourglass shatters.
Even here at the dawn of time, you spew lies and deceit. We will not hear it.
In defeating Kronika, you destroyed her crown. Without it, you can't restart history. The hourglass will shatter. All realms will be lost.
Fujin, is this true?
Kronika's every action was taken to ensure her crown's preparation. She would not dare to restart history without it. How do you know this?
Kronika came to each of us. For our help, she offered places in her new era. For refusing her, we were banished to a void beyond time.
We could observe the events leading up to your siege of the keep, but we were powerless to intervene.
But then you killed Kronika. The void seal was broken open, permitting our escape via the hourglass.
Now that we established that the void seal has been broken when Kronika died, now you see that the door for evil has been opened. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, well, Liu Kang controls time, so he should be able to not allow any bad people to exist, right? Well, hate to bust your bubble, but I'm here to tell you that is 100% false. And Kitana even mentioned it. Her and Liu Kang had a conversation about it, about how new evils would arise and they would take them on together. So I'm going to go ahead and put this clip on your screen to show you exactly what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to finish with my commentary as to how the new villain will manifest itself, and it's going to be more than one villain also. So this is getting super interesting. Check out this clip real quick and then we're going to get back to the convo.
Are you ready?
Yes, but no matter how we sculpt the sands, we cannot plan for every possibility. Mortals will make their own choices. New evils will arise.
Each realm must choose its own destiny. Whatever those choices, we will face them together.
As you can see, Kitana told you to your face, new evils will arise. It does not matter how they shape the timelines, people are still going to choose to do whatever it is that they want to do, which means evil will prevail. Also, the universe is set up so good and evil can battle each other because there has to be some type of balance. That's just the way it works. No way in hell they would make a game where it's just all good, there's no villains, that's no story to tell at all. So the Great Kung Lao is going to be the set off that's going to put in major chains of events to send Mortal Kombat into a new era. That was the whole point of this game. The tagline was a new era, because that's where we're going one way or another. It was going to be Shang Tsung's era, Liu Kang's era, or Kronika's era. It was going to change regardless, and it still will. So you're probably wondering, who the big bad villain is going to be. I already told you it was going to be the one being, but of course he's going to have some henchmen. Henchmen would be Goro. I can see Shang Tsung also being one of his henchmen, and then also the Collector and Reptile. Now you're probably asking me, what the heck, the Collector wasn't alive back then? Well, I can tell you this, Collector's been around for a very long time. So you will be seeing the Collector again. Also, you will be seeing the Kiting Queen again. So they're going to do what they got to do with this new game. So when Liu Kang goes back to the dawn of time, which he already did, and set everything up, he already ran into a problem. That's why he went back and got the Great Kung Lao. He did not get him for nothing. When we play the story, we're going to get to that point where Liu Kang goes back and gets the Great Kung Lao. We're going to be like, we saw this in the last game, because the new threat is going to arise. Doesn't matter what timeline it is. And remember when Raiden and Liu Kang fought each other in all those different timelines? Well, it's something similar to that. Similar things is just always going to happen regardless of how you put it. So with that being said, I hope you guys are ready, because MK12 is definitely bringing the heat when it comes out. Now that they have finally found their niche with this game, it's beautiful, it's polished, it looks great, it runs great. A few things that they need to change, they already know that based on fan feedback, and that's what they're going to be working on for 12. So I hope you guys are ready, because it's going to be a banger when they do drop it. Now let's move forward with the rest of this documentary, and I'm going to basically show you what Liu Kang's new era looks like, but I'm going to show you in the form of an ending. So I'm getting ready to play something here on your screen, and this is going to give you insight as to the good part of what's going to happen with Liu Kang's era. Pay attention very closely and listen to everything that's said, and then we're going to get into the big evil that's coming. Here's the clip. Watch this.
Of course I defeated Kronika, and when I did, there was only one thing I wanted to do with the hourglass. Undo the defeat of my ancestor, the Great Kung Lao. In my timeline, the Great Kung Lao is the undisputed Mortal Kombat champion. Earthrealm never loses another tournament. For generations, his example inspires millions to join the White Lotus Society and defend Earthrealm.
Okay, now that you saw what a Liu Kang future would look like, a new era for Liu Kang will look like, let's talk about who's going to be guiding and mentoring him. Now, his mentorship will come from Mortal Raiden. Mortal Raiden will be in Mortal Kombat 12. So he's going to be the person that's advising Liu Kang. So basically the roles are being switched around. With that being said, we both know Raiden was trash. Let's be honest. Raiden has been trash as a mentor, and the Elder Gods are just useless. It's all outdoors. We both know that. So Liu Kang is going to finally get to see how it feels to be Raiden and how much stress and stuff he had on him. Remember that time Raiden had to cook, he accidentally cooked Liu Kang like a barbecue grill because he wanted him to not fight Shao Kahn and he wanted it to play out. That was a tough decision for Raiden to make. Y'all remember that, right? So with that being said, Liu Kang is getting ready to experience the same thing. He's going to make this grave mistake that Raiden is going to help him through, and this is going to take a toll on him. He just wants to live a normal life with Kitana, but he's about to see what it's like to be a god, the person that's in control of everything. This is something larger than himself, because you know he is the chosen one. He's going to fulfill that chosen one destiny that he was meant to get. Now that we have established what Mortal Raiden's role is going to be to Lord Liu Kang, let me go ahead and show you the clip of Liu Kang, Raiden confirming that he will be around by Liu Kang's side as long as he lives. Take a look at this.
Our work is finished, Liu Kang.
Lord Raiden.
I am merely Raiden now. You have proven worthy to take my place as Earthrealm's new protector, Lord Liu Kang.
With that being said, the big mistake is releasing Onaga, as I said before, and we're finally getting to that part in the documentary where I'm going to show you where that new evil is just going to come from out of nowhere and wreak havoc, pun intended, on the entire realms. That's what's going to happen there. So Liu Kang's story of looking for redemption in MK12, that's going to be his arc. That's what's going to happen with that. Also, he will have his comrades beside him, or whatever the case is, the ones that you already know that he put in a position of power already, who shall not be named, because I'm going to do a video on that. So if you know, you know, and if you don't, wait for my next video, and that will get you caught up on everything that you need to know at that time. But I just want to say, with everything that we know so far about MK12, I gotta say NRS did their thing on the story. They really did their thing on the story. I truly enjoyed Mortal Kombat 11, and I also enjoyed Mortal Kombat Aftermath. That was extremely good too. They really did a great job with that, and I'm excited to see what they're going to give us next. And that's why I definitely want you guys to stay tuned to the channel, because I will be covering it and bringing you as many leaks as I possibly can. It's up to you to decide what's going to manifest and what's not going to manifest. Of course, take everything with a grain of salt, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to make videos, and I'm also going to put out documentaries like this with my own opinion, my own predictions, mixed in with a couple of leaks to kind of give it all different types of flavor, so you have various different reasons to watch the video. And as you can see, this is my first time making very long content, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoy this. So I just want to take a time out for a quick second and say thank you so much if you watched the video all the way up to this point, and then we're already 24 minutes in. I want you to hit the like button. I also want you to subscribe and share this video to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anywhere that you can share this. Share it so we can get more combatants to join the team and to be a part of the Wave Report as we ride the wave all the way to 13K. Now that I got my promo out of the way, let's go ahead and get back to the rest of the documentary, shall we? Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put this clip on the screen so we can finally get to the one being, and you can see that it has already been predicted, even within the leaks that I was given by my source, but it's been predicted within this ending that he will be returning to cause some havoc, and all directions point to this becoming true from the leaks and within the game itself. So enough blibber blabbing, let's go ahead and pop this up on your screen, and then I'll come back with some more blibber blabbing right after that. Check out this clip, y'all.
Until, inevitably, a more powerful enemy comes along and finds Earthrealm backed by Kung Lao, immortal lord of time and warrior supreme. Beat that, Liu Kang.
Okay, now that you see in that perfect world was attacked by Onaga, the one being. Even though Kung Lao was able to take care of the threat, there was still evil in that world, which shows you that there will be evil in Liu Kang's world also. Now, I did mention to you guys several times, might I add, actually, that Goro would be the way back for the one being, but I also can see NRS throwing a twist in there by using Reptile. Most people actually forgot that Reptile was used as a vessel for the one being, and that's something that I'm going to refresh your memory on. So for those of you who have not known about that, who may have not known about that or known that was a thing, don't worry, because I'm going to be putting that clip up here on your screen also. That's going to help you get educated on that portion of Mortal Kombat that you may have missed, because either A, you were too young and you just didn't pay attention, or B, you are a new Mortal Kombat fan. Don't worry, we're going to take care of you well over here by refreshing your memory on a lot of things. So I just want to say, with MK12 fast on the horizon, I'm going to be the first person to tell you that NRS is going to make MK11 look like an arcade game. That's what's going to happen. I also want to point this out really quick. let me get off track real quick and say that MK11 was a beta game. Everything about this game was beta, from the character customization, which I mentioned in my other videos. So I'll do some self-promotion real quick. If you're watching this documentary and it's your first time watching any of my work, I recommend that you go to my channel, click on playlists, and I want you to watch the Mortal Kombat files, episode 1 all the way up to the latest episode where I cover leaks and everything about the Mortal Kombat universe. Also, if you're into Injustice, then check out the Injustice files. I do have some leaks on Injustice, and I will be creating some new series. Now, if you're into Pokemon Go, I got a lot of that on my channel too. So don't worry, content is rapidly expanding on this channel. Now that I got the shameless self-promotion out the way, oops, almost forgot. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date with the latest documentaries and leaked news. And I'm also going to be doing predictions for games. So if you're interested in that content, go ahead and subscribe, because I work really hard on this and I really could use your support. And liking the video is free. If you don't like the video, then I hope you fall and scrape your ankle, or scrape your elbow, I should say. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, let's get back on track here. We were talking about the one being, and I also said how the one being is going to use either Goro or Reptile as a vessel. So let me go ahead and pop this up on your screen and show you the timeline where Reptile was once the vessel of Onaga, and it can happen again. Check out this clip, y'all.
Despite the strong sulfurous stench that filled the chamber, Reptile could smell that Nitara and Cyrax had been there recently. There was no sign of them now, except for some scattered glass shards and a residual trace of strong magical energies. His revenge would have to wait. Suddenly, an expectant hush filled the chamber as energy cascaded around what appeared to be a dragon embryo. The tiny dragon stretched, and the egg cracked. A beam of energy ripped out from inside and lanced into Reptile. His world was filled with a roaring power as his squamous body was twisted and transformed. The ancient prophecy had been fulfilled. The Dragon King had returned.
Alright, as you clearly can see, Reptile became the vessel for the one being Onaga. And that's how he was able to come back in one of the other timelines. So I thought it was important to put that clip on the screen, so that way I can send you down memory lane and you can kind of relive some of that old Mortal Kombat history. You know, again, hopefully you're enjoying this documentary so far. I hate to be a bug, but if you can drop me a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and maybe share it in some of the MK Facebook groups, or share it with a friend or family member, that would be much appreciated. I really would appreciate that. Trust me, I would. Now let's move on. Let's move on with the rest of the documentary. So as I showed you what happened with Reptile, and he goes on to take over Reptile's body, and then he goes on to, you know, fully becomes himself by transforming, blah blah blah. You saw that already. Now there was in another timeline where he did actually take over Goro's body and nearly destroyed Outworld. Now it seems like that's going to be the version that we're going to be going with based on the Great Kung Lao. It just all makes sense. The Great Kung Lao, Goro, everybody, it all makes sense. Everything is adding up. All of the right players are there. They're in place for that story. Even Reptile's story is in place, so they can kind of go left or they can go right. Either way, it don't matter to me. I'm down to see some Onaga. I'm down to see some Goro. I'm down for some MK12. And I'm most definitely down for some Great Kung Lao. That's what I'm down for. So let me go ahead and put this clip here on your screen where they talk about Goro basically, you know, being the vessel for Onaga, and on top of that, nearly getting Outworld destroyed at some point. So let's take a look at this clip, and I'll be right back with more of that jibber jabber.
Did Goro become Onaga's vessel?
Yes, and he nearly scourged Outworld.
Has Onaga's power tempted you?
Alright, So you heard it there for yourself as to what happened in that situation. But there's other scenarios that can play out here, and we're going to take a look at all of them. Now, you saw that one there. I think that would be a pretty good story with Goro, but I would also like to see the reptile one. However, there is another one that I would like to see, and I'm going to bring that to your attention right now. Shang Tsung has the power to raise Onaga. He definitely has the power to do that, and I feel like he will be manipulating people to do that, since he like making deadly alliances and things of that nature, which we did see some of that in Mortal Kombat 11. We kind of got a throwback of him working with Raiden and Liu Kang the way he worked with Quan Chi and Shao Kahn in previous games. Let's have a look.
Take your place in the Netherrealm.
I would rather raise Onaga.
That would be most.
Now, Shang Tsung is definitely a OG. He's an OG. I feel like he can hang with Onaga, meaning that if Onaga was to come back to reality, Shang Tsung will probably have a couple of places to hide out and try to manipulate people from the background. Now, let's move on to the next theory that I have here, is that Liu Kang is related to the Dragon King Onaga, and this is hinted at by Cetrion. Cetrion actually mentioned this in her intro with Liu Kang, so there's a couple of ways that Netherrealm can spin this story. According to the leaks, we're going to be getting Goro, but my predictions and my theory is that we may be getting a Liu Kang plot twist where it comes full circle. So I'm about to put this on your screen. I want you to open your ears and pay full attention to what Cetrion tells Liu Kang.
You have Onaga's fire.
I'm not related to the Dragon King.
Mortals are always so self-assured.
Now, you heard that with your own ears. Cetrion's response was basically saying like, y'all swear y'all know something. That's what it sounded like Cetrion's response was. It's kind of, come on, she's an elder god, so she would know these things, and she should not have been questioned by Liu Kang regardless of what he knew. Now, let's move on to another one where I think Kung Lao can be used by Damashi. Have a look at this clip, and then we're going to touch on it just a little bit more. Look at this.
I'm on a mission for Damashi.
He is Onaga, the deceiver.
He said you would say that.
Now, you heard that with your own ears of how Kung Lao is being deceived to think that he's working for Damashi, aka Onaga. So I think that will also be another great storyline for them to explore, but a lot of people would probably complain and say we did that with Deception already, which I can agree, we did do that, but history will repeat itself in some way, shape, or form. So I just wanted to bring those couple of theories to your attention. Like I said, the leaks said that Goro will be one of the main villains leading up to Onaga, as well as with Havoc and like 2 other individuals such as Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. Try saying all that together and you're gonna get tongue twisted off them S's. Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. Alright, so let's move on with the documentary. Now that we got the theories out the way, we're going to get back to where we was on our own original timeline. We were talking about Liu Kang being in charge of everything and how he's making that big mistake, right? Liu Kang knows that he's biting on more than he can chew. He even says it out of his own mouth. He goes, wow, so I'm in control of everything, like the realms are in my fate. Yo, I'm not going to lie. I think Raiden being petty. I think Raiden, Raiden is being petty to Liu Kang by pointing this stuff out. Like, you literally put all of this on this man. He never asked for this. He never looked at Raiden and said, yo, come up off them powers, let me be an elder god. He never said that at all. This is something that Raiden gave to him, you know, and I just feel like we could possibly see an evil Liu Kang in the future. I think that's extremely possible because history, like I said, has a way of repeating itself. So with that being said, let's go ahead and have a look at this clip and just listen to Liu Kang's reaction when Raiden, mortal Raiden, tells him what he don't want to hear. Check this clip out, y'all.
Where do we go from here?
The sands of time are yours to shape. You must return the hourglass to the dawn of time and sculpt a new history. A better one.
The fate of all realms.
Did you see his reaction Liu Kang got this look on his face where he just like, man, what you mean? That's what Liu Kang looking like. He just got a large load put on him by Raiden. I honestly think Raiden's being petty at this point. I truly do. But let me get back on topic here. Now, with Liu Kang being in charge of all of the realms, and like I said, he is definitely not as experienced as Raiden is, as Kronika, or hell, he's not even as experienced as more than Shao Kahn, I should say, or freaking Shang Tsung. So we have a rookie, in my opinion, that is controlling the entire fate of time and existence, the space-time continuum. Yeah, everything is just gonna go right, I guess. Nah, it's not gonna go right. We definitely gonna get some drama. We gonna get some chaos out of this, and I'm ready for all of the smoke that these villains are getting ready to bring with Liu Kang. And I know my boy Shang gonna be in the corner with his binoculars like some creepy person, trying to see what's going on and trying to see who he can manipulate and who he can bring the smoke to. But I know when Onaga come, he want the smoke with everybody. That boy Thanos, he Thanos of the Mortal Kombat universe. They're going to reinvent him and bring him back bigger, badder than ever. I can tell you that. But let's have a look at this clip real quick. Actually, hold on for a second. Before we look at that clip, listen to Liu Kang's tone. He was like, man, I can't do this by myself, dog. He already tripping out. Here go the clip right here.
Raiden, I cannot do this alone.
Yes. You will need a partner with whom you can share the eons.
Kitana.
Your destinies have always been intertwined.
We are far in the past, but not so far that I cannot reach her.
Return with her to the dawn of time. Sculpt the hourglass's sands to forge a better future.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Raiden already know what's up. Raiden know exactly what he doing. If he want Liu Kang to be a great combatant, he gotta go through everything that Raiden been through, so he can understand and become more wiser and more patient. I could tell you that Kung Lao has this exact same problem. But I will say this, y'all want this man to redo the entire realms? That is not gonna end well. It's not gonna end well at all. Trust me, it's not. But Raiden will most definitely be there to support Liu Kang on what he's going through, but we getting ready to go on a bumpy ride. I can tell you that. I definitely can tell you that. Let's have a look at this clip and then we're gonna move on with the documentary.
I look forward to meeting again in the next timeline.
Then I will not say goodbye.
Okay, now that we basically covered Liu Kang, now that we basically covered Lord Liu Kang and Mortal Raiden, let's move on with the rest of this documentary. Let's get into the new timeline as Raiden just mentioned. The new timeline is going to be something that changes everything. Liu Kang, of course, is going to have his timeline, but we will be continuing Shang Tsung's timeline also, which I think is going to be more fun and more interesting. And we already seen in MK11 that the realms can merge, so I'm wondering if we're going to have that same type of conflict when it comes to Shang Tsung's future and Liu Kang's merging. I think that would be pretty dope because we'll be able to see some old characters as well as some new characters. So for those of you that are not familiar with what I'm talking about at all, don't worry, sit tight, because I'm going to pop up Shang Tsung's ending on your screen and then we're going to talk about it just a little bit more. You know me, I got to keep you updated and got to keep your mind fresh as to what's going on so you can stay aware of what we got going on. Do me a favor, make sure you like the button and turn on that post notification when you subscribe, as I work very hard on this video and would like to be rewarded for it. A like is also free. Just about it. So let me go ahead and put this clip up here on your screen and then we're going to continue with the rest of the documentary. Check this out.
Speak, minions.
My lord, your will is done.
Outworld, Earthrealm, the Netherrealm, all are conquered.
Per your command, Chaos Realm and Order Realm are next. All realms will soon yield to your influence.
It has begun.
Now, you heard it from the snake himself. It has only just begun. I would like to think that Shang Tsung's story is going to be continued in MK12 with possibly Aftermath 2 as more DLC. I'm pretty sure that would be welcome. And we both already know that Liu Kang's story has been hinted at that is going to be continued through the Great Kung Lao 500 years in the past. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to get into the ancestors of these characters. Now, you have seen me upload videos about ancestors. I definitely recommend that you go check out the videos about these ancestors too, because I did mention in MK12 there will be no Johnny Cage, there will be no Sub-Zero, and no Kenshi, as they all would be replaced by ancestors. And you're probably wondering, where the heck did that come from? Well, that most definitely came from my source, so I made a video about it. Now I'm going to show you exactly where these ancestors were hinted at for those of you that may have missed it. I'm going to put something up here on your screen. I want you to pay close attention to the detail, the back that's surrounding Kung Jin in this scene. Look at these pictures on the wall, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary and I'm going to tell you what's up from there. So here's that clip right here. Hopefully you were paying close attention and looking at the walls, and you were able to see the ancestors on the walls. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, I couldn't see it. It was moving too fast. There wasn't a good angle, this, that, and the third. Well, don't worry. You know, I got you. I'm going to be putting that up here on the screen in a second, and you will be able to check out the ancestors. So you see that they have been building this for a while. They did a great job with all this Easter egg hunting. They put stuff and hide it right in plain sight, so that way it was there the entire time. So with that being said, we're about to go ahead and get into these ancestors. We're just almost done with the documentary. We got another about 10 minutes to go. I truly appreciate you guys still watching up until this point. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Also, if you're feeling generous, go ahead and do a super chat, or you can do a super thanks by clicking the super thanks button at the bottom of this video, and you can donate to the channel. I will be releasing merch in the future, and I cannot wait to show you what that merch is going to look like. Now we can go ahead and get back on track. Let's go ahead and bring up these ancestors, shall we? So go ahead and look at your screen. Voila, these are the ancestors right here. Now we have Liu Kang's ancestor, and we have Kung Lao's ancestor, which is the Great Kung Lao. We also have Johnny Cage's ancestor, we have Kenshi's ancestor, and we have the Great Grandmaster himself, Sub-Zero's Grandmaster, and his ice is -500, which is absolute zero. So I cannot wait to see how these ancestor characters are going to play. I'm also going to go ahead and leak this information here to tell you that you are looking at 6 chapters on your screen. You know Mortal Kombat like to do the whole chapters thing with their season, you know, with their story modes. Well, those are your first 6 chapters right there. And we already saw Liu Kang recruit the Great Kung Lao, and we're going to see him do more recruiting throughout MK12. So again, if you're not pumped for MK12, then I don't know what to tell you, because that game is going to be freaking awesome. As mentioned before, MK11 was nothing but a beta game. It was just to get everything tested out, to make sure everything worked, and to be able to build the next game off fan feedback. And they're going to be doing a lot of fan service. As you saw, they put Melina in the game based on fan reaction. That's how we ended up with Melina, and same thing with Rain. So the most important thing you can take away from this portion of the video is that you're looking at the 6 chapters. They're going to get into the lives of these ancestors. But let's make something clear here. These ancestors will not be weak. These ancestors are strong. You're going to meet them at their peak. That's what's going to happen. Now, the Great Kung Lao, we see him, well, Raiden first meets him and tell him he's going to be a champion, this, that, and the third. So, of course, we're going to see the Great Kung Lao get his build up, but they will reach their maximum potential. Now, Johnny Cage has some incredible power, super incredible power he has, where he's literally one of the strongest people in the Mortal Kombat verse. Now, we're going to be going over that. I'm going to touch on Johnny Cage. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with him first. So let me take this off your screen for a second. Let's wrap. Let me get this off your screen so you can focus on what I'm saying. All right. So Johnny Cage is one of the most powerful people. Now, he could not control his power so much to where he would have random explosions which would destroy dang near everything in his vicinity. Now, if you don't ever remember that happening, don't worry, I'm gonna pop that up on your screen so that way you can see that. I'm gonna do that. So look here on your screen, check out this clip, and I'll be right back with you.
As the last remnants of Shao Kahn disintegrated, Johnny felt strange, as if he had lost control of his body. Suddenly, powerful energy burst forth, destroying everything around him. Johnny sought the aid of Raiden and Nightwolf, but their efforts did nothing to stop these random spasms of destruction. Desperate, Raiden transported Johnny to Sado, the realm of order, where he could be taught to control his power. Johnny Cage will transform into a warrior powerful beyond mortal imagining.
As you saw for yourself, Johnny Cage has the potential to be one of the strongest people in the universe. A lot of you might say it's not canon, but I like to take it that when MK show us those type of things, they're showing us what the possibilities could be. Now, we're going to get into the ancestry of Johnny Cage, but I'm going to let him tell you his backstory since it is his story from his own mouth. But I will be making a separate video deep diving into every little single detail about Johnny Cage. But until then, Johnny, go ahead and let him know what's up.
Raiden told me later that I'm descended from some Mediterranean war cult, bred as warriors for the gods. I've never been able to resummon that green halo. Raiden thinks it was triggered when I saw a loved one about to die.
Okay, now before I get into the next part of this documentary, I just want to say how petty Kung Jin is. You seen him kind of like turn his head and just kind of laugh and shake his head. Dude is hilarious. I'm definitely making a video on his dicketry and how he just be curving people. But I'm going to put something else here on your screen, basically showing you how Johnny Cage powers are triggered by fear, love, and being in dangerous situations. That's why I think MK12 is going to be a great game, because it's going to explore actually where these powers came from, how they got them, and how to use them. Because remember, Cassie had these powers too. But let's go ahead and take a look at this clip from Johnny Cage and throw a little action fight scene in there for you.
Ready?
As always.
Yo, this man Shinnok putting hands and feet on the special forces. Look at this. I know his back hurting. That his back hurting. How you gonna do that man girl like that, dog? Come on.
She will be the first to join me.
Yo. No! Shinnok petty too. Anything for love. Look at y'all. That's that ancient power right there. That's that ancient power we're gonna get into. MK12, baby.
I'm not sure what just happened to me, but I am sure of this. You don't even think of hurting her.
Okay, so you seen how Johnny Cage get down. You know how he get down already. Also, on top of that, it was already established in the other clip that I showed you that the power that Johnny Cage had, it came from the gods. That power was intended to protect the elder gods. Now, his daughter, Cassie Cage, has the same exact power, but yet neither one of them has learned how to master it. I mean, they tap into it here and there, they use it, cool, But this is why I cannot wait for the Ancestors story, because I'm pretty sure the Ancestors will be like Goku and be able to actually use this power and know what it means and how to control it. But we're not going to leave Cassie Cage out of this documentary. It's not a documentary without a little Cassie, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you Cassie Cage using this power, but hers is triggered just like her father's off of fear, anger, and excitement. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to roll this clip and I'll be right back with you with my commentary afterwards. Let's begin.
They taste your flesh, burrow deep. Inside you they will grow, all your innards.
By the gods.
Dad!
First father, then daughter. Will they taste the same?
You're the bug, I'm the windshield.
Hey, Funkin'.
I'm a little old for hunting,
No. Get Shinnok.
but...
I love you.
Dad?
So you are the issue of Johnny Cage. Fitting that I exterminate his entire line.
You want him, you're gonna go through me.
Yes, that's better. Watch, Miss Cage, as I rend your father's flesh. This is what awaits those who defy me. Excruciating, exquisite death.
Son of a bitch! Holy shit, it does run in the family.
Your father's power will not save you. You cannot hope.
That you? Nice.
I thought she might.
As you can see, Cassie has the power also. So we really don't know how good this green power is until we see it in a canon format. That's the reason why I'm super excited for MK12, but it has most definitely been real with you guys this entire documentary. I appreciate you guys staying all the way to the end. If you stayed all the way to the end, get in the comment section and make some noise. I want to pass this question off to you guys in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this documentary, and would you like to see me make more of these? Because I have some ideas in mind. I want to start a new series called The Lore, and what I mean by that is I'm going to do detailed breakdown on characters that are not popular in the MK verse, or characters that are, you know, unpopular. Just kind of put my own little twist to it. You know, I think that would be pretty dope. And I also want to come up with some different series, Mortal Kombat related, to try to keep the channel alive, you feel me, and make different content. So if that's something you're interested in, that you want to see, definitely let me know. Also, if you feel like I did a tremendous job, you can go ahead and super chat this video, or you can click the super thanks button and you can donate to the channel from there. All money will go towards the current merch that I have coming out very, very soon. So there will be some merchandise for you MK fans. And I'm also working on memberships too. So we're getting ready to get this channel up off the ground. I just want to say I truly appreciate you guys, and hopefully you watched the whole thing. I'm assuming you did if you hear this part, because I'm trying to get that watch time up so this channel can grow. I'm trying to be one of the best Mortal Kombat channels out there, and one of the most informative, or I should say one of the most unique Mortal Kombat channels. That would be my main goal, is to do that there. Now again, until next time, I appreciate you watching. I will see you wonderful people later. Let me go ahead and end this video on a good note. I'm out.
This whole adventure, capital I insane. I marry Sonya? I have a kid who actually likes me? Inquiring minds want to know how the hell that happens. So I get the hourglass to show me how kicking Shinnok's ass, which I did beautifully, turned me from Hollywood megastar into global icon. So far, so good. Until I let that fame screw me up. Didn't hit rock bottom until I saw just how badly I'd let down my little girl. I finally got what old man me was saying about needing humility and maturity. But I also knew I couldn't get there without living the same life he did. So, I restored the timeline just as it was. With one tiny little difference. Sonya's story won't end underneath the rubble of some busted up Netherrealm castle. Because Johnny Cage flicks always have happy endings.
Guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to click one of these videos, check out the playlist, the previous video, or the video YouTube think is best for you. Catch you in the next one.